Hey, what's up, everybody? Wraith Realm and Smooth here. We're going to be doing things a little differently going forward. We're going to change our approach on things when it comes to delivering this show to you, the Wraith and Smooth show. The reasons why we're doing that, I think it's better that we record it and put it out there for you guys. It's faster. You get more episodes. You're going to get more topics from us. I like going live. Don't get me wrong. I love going live with Smooth, but we talk a lot. And the thing is, we want to give you more content for more for your money. That's basically what we're saying. We want to be that fast food chain that gives you more for your money and give you a lot more of our faces. So here's another thing we have discussed and talked about off air and off video is there will be a Smooth and Wraith show or Wraith and Smooth show coming to you guys. We'll have banners. We'll have the whole nine. I'll work on a like page. There's going to be so much stuff that is in the future. We are talking about doing it, and if you guys get that, you're going to get exclusive content from either me or Smooth. It'll just be part of the family that I've created of channels, and then that'll also be a for Smooth as well. When he creates his own channel, it'll just be a branch of that, and it'll be different. So when you go to that channel, it'll be different. You're gonna get Wraith Gaming, and then you're gonna get different side of Wraith. And Smooth, Smooth's been talking to me. So on that channel, what do you think you're gonna be doing on that channel? Like, give it a little bit of a taste.
For me, it's gonna be sports, entertainment, geopolitical news, politics, also some tech as well, because very much interested in seeing what's happening and a bit of a bit of history. So we're just gonna have little bit of everything, and also talking about wrestling.
By the way, guys, I'm going to tell you guys this going into this journey with Smooth. I did say when we created the Smooth and Wraith or Smooth channel, I did say that, look, he has my blessing on if he wants to go into that territory with political stuff, he's welcome to it on the show. We already talk about it as it is. I said, keep it within reason. I'm cool. Like, to me, at the end of the day, I stand behind my co host when he talks political because it's basically the same vibes I have. It's me and him both sound basically the same when it comes to politics. So
Yeah,
I just want to
yeah,
give you an update on what the show is going to be, what the vision we have. And I thought the live stuff, it's cool to go live, right? Don't get me wrong. I love going live. It's just so long. We sit
so
there
long.
and you're
Hmm.
exhausted at the end of it.
Of course,
And I want, and I
and
can give you, and we can give you more by doing little like recordings and
of course,
stuff.
and for me on my channel, I'm gonna definitely go more in depth with and geopolitical news as well as the politics. But once we're together here, I'll just keep it within the realm of things. So definitely you're gonna get two sides of the situation of the situation. So definitely stay tuned for that, and hey, just continue to rock with us.
Uh, we're going to talk about Redemption tonight. Redemption 2026, the first ever. Um, I don't know how you're feeling, but I'm feeling like the ending was all over the place. I felt a little weird at the end, and I would say that women's title match I felt was a little weird.
Yes, for me, uh that ending for me in regards to Osprey, Moxley, and Omega. Um, I'm just saying to myself, where are we going with this again? So we have Omega lying there, Osprey and Moxley on hovering above him, and we are about to pull off this move that you did on Brian Danielson, knowing that this man has to be ready to go in 5 weeks. I mean, you could have just just easily did it like a little chair, but we got to go that deep. unless you're gonna end a man's career. Like, what are we doing?
I thought they
And
were
then,
I thought they were gonna do one different. I really was under the belief, and this was just me, I don't know about you, but I felt they were gonna do a
mhm,
center block angle
I mean,
where Will Ospreay does like maybe a tiger driver onto it and it looks devastating. I thought that
yeah,
maybe they would pull the what was it, the padding on the side of the
Prince,
ring, and then they would
yes,
do something devastating that would write off Kenny Omega for a week or two, and then we get like that middle where it would kind of be like what WWE would do with like the
yeah,
center block, and then they would have the next like 3 weeks left, and they could pretty much Kenny could be face, and then Will Ospreay could still be heel, but they went the reverse of that.
so now,
And to me, the
mhm,
Young Bucks looked really weird in that situation. They didn't know what to
they
do.
did, they did. It was like, what are we doing? And then, okay, so we have Osprey doing what? Attacking Moxley and the Death Riders. So what are we saying? That he is having a dilemma right now. So we're trying to play a situation, and this is where I told co-host here, Brother Rave, about 2 years ago. It's different opponent, but they're trying to bring in a little similar situation where they're looking to tell you a story on him as this aerial assassin. He got so much compassion. He's not able to pull off pull off a move. He's not able to pull the trigger. Well, this sounds similar to 2024 when you had him having the dilemma with the Tiger Driver 91. And it was and it was the man that he did it upon, Brian Danielson, that had to tell him, yo, pull it, do it. So he got over that hurdle. It's gonna be interesting to see how they're gonna do this, but it was just weird at the end.
Well, the two weird matches of the night definitely was the women's match because it didn't make any sense. Um,
No,
I thought maybe you would have Monet be face, but then when we were talking, when you were texting me, we were talking. It you made sense on the fact that they can't do that because Monet has to be. I'm sorry to say this, Monet has to be the bitch character. She has to play the bitch. She has
and
to play the diva.
she's been there for 3 years. She's been there for 3 years. Played it up real nice. I don't care what, and I don't want to hear from the curmudgeon fans out there of wrestling. I don't care what promotion you rock with or anything, and you talk about Monet and that fact that, oh, she's this, she's that. Well, she's pulling that shit off right. Being a heel for 3 years. I mean, it's paying off,
AEW has done a good job with her personally.
and it's paying
At
off.
first it was a little shaky. I will
Yeah.
admit, yes, I agree with a lot of people, and I said give it a chance. And once she had the ball rolling with Tony Storm, and they were doing some shit, it really was been blossoming. I really think Monet stays in AEW. I don't see her going back to WWE, and I see her bringing in a Bailey recruiting, because
Yeah.
Bailey and her have unfinished business together as friends.
Oh,
They never got
but
to finish anything like that.
no, and we'll talk. I'll talk. No, I was gonna say something in regards to the Sheamus situation, but we'll talk about it. Well, at some point during this recording. But like I said with Monet, she's been doing that heel character now since Double or Nothing 2023, and it's been working. 3 years of
And
it.
I'm gonna say this about Willow Nightingale. And I did say some choice words to you off. I'm not gonna call her that person, but
No.
I will call her John Cena in a lot of ways because she's doing these matches, and the reason I make the John Cena comparison, and I had a chance to think about it after we talked, more of John Cena because John Cena just got put in spots, and we turned around and we went, "Holy shit! Like, what are we doing? Why is he here? Why are we doing this?" He would win
Yes,
titles just to win titles, and we turn around and just go, "What? Wait, why? That makes no sense."
but they tried.
That's the same with Willow Nightingale right now.
Yes, because here's a situation with it. Now you just took out another person that could have rocked as a face, in Tekla. And as my co-host calls me, the number one tribal chief for the Tekla fan for Tekla Nation. What the hell was that tonight?
I think they were
You
protecting. I
you
think
put
they were protecting Tekla to be a heel. She should stay a heel. I kind of see it, but at the same time, I'm like, you just brought her in, right? As I was telling you over the phone, you brought her in. You
yes.
signed her for a 5-year deal. What it looks like, you signed her to big money, and you're
Hmm.
telling me she's not worthy of All In.
But the problem is this: what I said. But here's the situation now. We ran into with the women's division, just like the men now. Where is the baby face to face off against the heel? Because you can't have heel versus heel. Not gonna work. So you had to put up a swerve, basically saying, okay, we're gonna put a baby face in Willow Nightingale to win the title, and then the heel is gonna win it in Monet. Then then at some point down the line, we'll have Tekla get her rematch.
Right.
So I would say to this, okay, I understood what was being pulled, although some folks out there don't agree with it. But also I can definitely see what they're working with, and um they're doing what the wrestling business and as content creators we have asked for. You got to put a heel versus face, and that's what they're
Yeah,
trying to do. But how they
I get the idea of that. I do seriously. I get
Mhm.
it. I get it. But the way they went about it tonight, it just made Willow Nightingale did this. Willow Nightingale there was no build up outside of two Mick Foley segments or Renise Burkett and then a Mick Foley. And it's like, and again, why do we keep this makes Willow Nightingale look so weak?
Okay,
Why in the hell do we have her doing fruit roll ups?
when she could do the babe with the pounds, babe with the
Right,
power.
right. She needs more moves in her arsenal. It's really becoming apparent, and how she's winning are just not what I want to see from her. I expect more. If you're gonna build her as like this top tier person that wins everything all the time,
Yeah,
then we really need to have her have more moves because
of course.
it's becoming 5 moves of doom to me.
Yes,
And I don't
and it
want
is.
and I did say on the call I called her Roman Reigns. I'm more of John Cena though.
Okay.
More I think TK sees her as the happy for the children cuz that's what
Yes,
John Cena was. John Cena was the make a
was that.
wish, the
Hmm.
guy. So I see it. And by the way, I don't want to hear from good much. It's no. TK has reasons for the madness tonight. You got to see it. They did some
Yeah,
changing of the guard tonight. I was very
they
impressed
did.
about a couple of things, and I was
They
very
did.
shocked about a couple of things.
Yeah, because also also we talked about um the fact that the changing of the guard is Maya World. She's hot right now. Ring of Honor, AEW TV on Collision and Dynamite. She's hot. So what you have to do is you have to reward her, reward the hotness, but also make her fight from adversity because that's what they did, and they showed you tonight that they can play that there is a storyline in within the match. I mean, sometimes you get that storyline within the match, and you say, "Oh, I didn't know that she could fight from this adversity." Yeah, because this girl have to. I mean, you got to understand what happened to her in my world. I mean, the loss of your brother is just one thing, and then you hop right into a tournament and to do very well in a tournament while that mental, emotional, psychological wound is fresh. I mean, there's a story to be told with that. Then you have a win the TBS title fighting from adversity. Hey, good job. We spoke about it. We said, all right,
Well,
changing up the
I
format.
was telling you when we were doing the lives, right? I said, look, you either going to have her win the Ring of Honor belt, and then, or what you're going to do is you're going to give her something else to do. Here's the something else they're going to do. And they did it right because they played off on her diversity. They played on the fact that she's piping hot. The crowd's into her. I like her music. It gives me back in the day, it gives me No Diggity vibes, which
Yes.
I'm so cool with that. Maybe maybe they redo her music, which I'd be cool with, and maybe do maybe some Queen Latifah. I'd be okay with that. Just saying, AEW,
Okay.
you got all this money to spend. Go get me some Queen Latifah and go get me Unity. Do something cool. You know, because Maya's World, honestly, they can get a nice rapper in there, like an LL Cool J or something cool, and
All right.
get him in the booth, or maybe Ice Cube or Ice T, something like that.
Yeah.
I would be all right with
Yeah.
that because she has
Yes.
the swagger like that. See,
Oh, yeah, she does.
you can bring in some cool, salt and pepper. You could do something cool with her to where it would be fun. I think the crowd's already into her. I'm into her. Um, I feel bad because her other partner gets overshadowed.
High end.
Yeah, I feel
Well,
bad.
here's the thing, but hey, you gotta be listen, when you get that call, you gotta be ready, willing, and able to do that work. You put
Absolutely.
yourself in that position to do that work in the wrestling business, and you have to be ready, and you got to do it. So Maya World, and plus, she um has got a lot from She's also got a lot from Athena.
Right.
Learned a lot from Athena. So when she did that, it was just it was just okay. Athena was her mentor. She was the teacher for her at the wrestling school, whatever. I mean, damn, why not? Why not her? But then also, high end, she's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
I feel as if she's gonna be all right.
Absolutely.
And she's got and you know what? High end has got a lot of upside too. So
Well, right now, from what I seen with AEW tonight was the fact, or last night, what I saw, what they're doing with El Idolo is perfect.
bingo.
When I called you and I said, man, the things they're doing with him is incredible, and that just shows me that AEW is putting some value into him. They always felt value in him. I think Tony Khan likes to do the slow burn, where we wait and see and let it happen. I think
Yes,
I think I think we need to start going back to those days of wrestling to where things are a slow burn and let it just
yes,
progress. Let good storytelling, take hold in what's
take
going on.
hold. Because because, yeah, because
Two things I'm gonna say were cons to me. The main event,
of course, yes.
I'm gonna go the tag team match was a little weak.
Okay.
Because to me, how do you have the Death Riders lose in that situation? I get where you're going to go with that. Oh, it's Canada, and I get it. But
Yes, no,
you belt these guys. That's Tony Khan booking here.
that's the point.
You belt these guys up
Hmm.
for weeks, and then you have them lose. To me, not the best idea. TK, next time, not the best idea to put the Death Riders there and make them look strong. If you're making them look strong and you're making them do these things, then you should reward that. That there should be a payoff there. I get Edge and Adam Copeland and Cage, and I get it. 100% do it. I think
Yes.
they're going to lose the titles. And this is the one thing I don't understand here. I think they're going to lose the titles against the Young Bucks.
Okay.
I just don't understand why the Young Bucks are in that situation.
Well,
I don't think they should be there. You know what I mean? Like I want to see
yes.
more of a Mortar Machine Guns debut. And I think maybe that's the way they go. Maybe that's who takes the belts. Maybe they debut and we get them back on better television and then they win the title. You know?
Yes. Yeah,
Or
because
or maybe we get surprised and we see a New Day at All In, and then we have a different conversation, and then it's a three-way, and then automatically they do like what the Hardys did, like WWE did for the Hardys, you
true.
know, 10 years ago. So that's just my personal opinion. I mean, at the end of it all, I just the ending match. You hit the nail on the head with that. It's like, what are we doing with Kenny? Like, pull the trigger.
And then okay, Osprey kind of rocks. Like, yeah, he goes up on the top rope, and then Kenny hits his one winged angel, and then the Young Bucks is standing behind him. Is like, and they're asking him, "You okay? You okay?" I'm like, that's kind of like okay. It's weird for the ending, but we have to see where this goes because I feel and I guess Moxley didn't do too much with hitting back Osprey because he he understands something. There is a mental.
Moxley did say at the very beginning when they had their tag team match and they lost. They were doing a segment as I called you and said, like, this is the best work. And by the way, I don't want to hear from think about just, oh, he needs to go back to WWE and all this stuff. Look, he's doing the best work of his career, I think, at this
Mhm.
point with the Death Riders, and you could see it with the promo. The promo that he did, I'd honestly tell you, with Renice Arquette when they were interviewing, was the best work I've ever seen from John Moxley in a minute. Where he just tell Will Ospreay, you're going to have to go on this journey, and if you want to go it out on your own, that's going to be your problem. That's not going to be a me problem. But I will sit back and when you lose, I will tell you I told you so. And that's what he's basically doing. It's the best promo he could have done.
And you know what too? With that kind of move, it left everybody perplexed. Like, okay, is Osprey done with the Death Riders? No. The situation is, I don't think, no, he's not done with them. What's going on with him? And this is where we're going to see the storyline play out with 5 weeks to go until all in London. We're going to start to see Will Osprey look at himself in the mirror. Then he's going to start questioning. And then that's when you're going to start seeing this whole buildup in him mentally, emotionally, psychologically, to where he is going to become that killer.
Well, here's what I didn't understand in the main event, and this is what I didn't understand. I
Hmm.
really was expecting Kenny Omega, instead of
To
doing the
lose.
one winged angel, right?
Hmm.
And then turn around and beat the holy crap out of Will Ospreay. Like, oh, we're celebrating, yeah, yeah, and then Kenny Omega throws him through a table or beats the living crap out of him, pulls out a steel chair, starts beating the shit out of him. I was kind of
Yeah.
going, this is off. This makes no sense. And then you can
Yeah.
even see the Young Bucks looking like, are we deviating? What are we doing?
What are we
Like, it
doing?
seems like somebody was deviating and it just threw off whatever it was supposed to. I really think Will Ospreay was going to do the bag on the face. I
No.
really believe I really believe they were going to go that far with it, but they've done it before, and the backlash they received when they did it with Danielson, I think that's
Yeah.
why they
No.
kind of deviated.
They deviated. So now, so here's a situation where you can have with that. You can have okay. Damn. Fantasy storyline, fantasy
Well, at
scenes,
this
and
point, you can't turn Will Ospreay. You cannot turn him now heel. That's
no,
out the door.
I told you. Remember what
And
I
I can
told
write
you?
this. I can write this. What's going to happen is Will
Write it up.
Ospreay. Will Ospreay is going to try to make it right with Moxley, and Moxley's going to have nothing to do with him. And he's going to turn around and tell him, "You're going to do this on your own, kid. I tried helping you. I tried telling you what was going to happen. Here's how it's going to play. It's your loss. Now you have to go prove yourself. I'm not going to help you anymore." That's what the Death Riders are going to do, and I really do believe, as we were saying, and you're right. When we were talking on live, when we were doing the shows on live, you were saying the same things. You told me straight up. You were like, "Look, I think the Death Riders, he'll win the belt and Death Riders will come out and that'll be that. He'll get beat up and, thrown down, and then it'll be Moxley versus Osprey. They'll revisit that. So that'll be full circle.
And what you do is you're gonna have you could have United Empire come out and start brawling with them
True that.
because we were just talking going off script a little bit. We were just talking about TJP. Why hasn't he got signed with a big major promotion since because he was with WWE and TNA for a little bit, but now he's in New Japan. Then now, guess what? You got Jeff Cobb. That Jeff Cobb that's gonna clear his waivers coming up next week.
Right.
And then also that's when you bring in the rest of the members of United Empire, because because now you're gonna have your story set. United Empire, Death Riders, and then you're gonna have Osprey versus Moxley afterwards. Because listen, for anything else, Omega is heel. I don't I don't know why we're not pulling the trigger. Pull the trigger.
Well, I
It should have
think
been.
here's the thing that I feel about AEW, right? And I don't know if you agree with me. I
Go ahead.
feel I feel AEW is too passive.
A
I
little,
feel
yeah,
I feel sometimes AEW should. I know they're trying to be respectful of their competition. I get it, but that's gone out the door. I think TK needs to start realizing, like, look, that shit's gone out the door a long time ago.
yeah, they're
And
going out the door.
I think honestly, I think WWE has shot the first shot off the bow, and I think they've been doing that for a while. And they think they know AEW won't do. They want to stay in their own lane. And my whole thing with Tony Khan should be, I'm not asking you to step on WWE's throat. I'm just asking you to be the alternative and be the best show you could be. There is a lot of mistakes that AEW has made, and especially with the camera work. Do something different. What made the XFL back in 2000 was the fact they did different camera angles compared to the NFL. What made, like, even college football does these cool angles, and the XFL, do something cool. Be different. I'm not asking you to be WWE. Be different. Like when they were doing the beach stuff. I just wish TK would stop being so passive all the time because it hurts his product at times.
Because
And also I want to say this. I don't want to hear from the Gamaja people. Oh, AEW is perfect. AEW is not perfect. They need to start that. This has been going on for I don't know how long now. What, 6 years? The same shit. They need to fit. They need to fine tune certain things. Yeah.
yes,
Oh, one other thing I'm going to say here, AEW, what they need to do is they need to start rotating their roster half the time. Rotate their roster. One thing I'm starting to realize is they keep signing people. Stack up both of your shows. To me, like, you have 3 shows. Here's my thing. I don't know why Tony Khan just does not do a 2 roster setup and build for both shows. And then when you have your shows, have your A and B titles. I'm not saying, oh, hey, be like WWE, have the undisputed and you have have an A and B title. I'm cool
yes.
with that. Have like a collision heavyweight title, have a dynamite title. You know what I mean?
The Dynamite title, yeah, of course. The
And then
AEW,
man, have like the TBS champion on collision. And then or better yet, just remove the TBS name off of it and put TNT on it. Have one be on TNT, have the other one there, and then treat them like A and B titles, women title wise. Because I personally believe this, and this is I don't know if you agree with me here or not, but I just think it would benefit AEW if they have 2 stacked rosters and then do a Ring of Honor and then shop it around to get it on TV. My whole thing is get rid of the Ring of Honor, whatever, my Ring of Honor, and just merge it with your my AEW.
of course,
And
of course,
look, and if you want to, if you really want to keep people paying for it, then just have a paid tier.
yeah.
You
Because
know,
because here's the thing. You can do like WWE, but better. You could do
Yes.
it better. You you could do it better, and you have a better roster than them right now. You
And,
have a better roster.
and here's the thing they could do. They could have Renice Burkett on the A show. They could have Mick Foley on the B show.
Well, Mick Foley is there, from time to time. Not,
Well, Mick
each
Foley said he wants more of a role. So to me, he could be your B guy for interviews.
mm, I would say you still got Lexi Nair back there.
Or Lexi Near, whatever. I just
Lexi
have them
Nair,
both
what's
have both
and
shows be fresh.
what's her name? What's her name is back there too that they can have on the B show. Alicia too.
And here's another thing now they can do. Those pay-per-views that they're doing weirdly like that, they
Yeah.
can have it be a collision show pay-per-view.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? If
Okay.
they separate the pay-per-views between the shows, they can have A and B options so you're not getting so confused.
Yeah, because WWE used to do that, but then they realized, you know what, we with our rosters, we can put in our like PLEs. Okay, one match would be a SmackDown match, the next one Raw match, SmackDown, Superstar match, Raw Superstar match. Yeah, it was just there, but you were getting you get something. I mean, you're gonna have to they're gonna have to look into that at some point, and they
Well,
and
if
they
they
have
keep
to.
signing ex WWE ladies and gentlemen or wrestlers in general that are coming up, they're going to have to do something eventually. You can't keep. So the
No,
problem is that AEW has they keep doing these putting people on the bench.
no, you can't do that.
You can't keep
Nah,
putting people. You can't keep signing just to put them on a bench. You gotta either you have three shows. You
yeah,
can make
because
all these shows A shows if you wanted to. Tony Khan can make all these shows A
yeah,
shows and do the right
because
thing.
of, because you can't fit all of the roster on two shows
No.
because you have two hours each. Plus, okay, you got Ring of Honor. Now with my AEW, you can have AEW WWE type show called a WWE main event type of show.
What they could do is they could bring back Dark Elevation and Dark on my
Yeah,
AEW.
of course, and yeah, of course, and those two shows were very key to what produced a lot of the wrestlers that we see now on AEW TV.
Absolutely. One other
Like a
thing in
Willow,
this recording I'm going to say to everybody that's watching, Tony Khan did announce during the media scrum. I didn't watch the media scrum because a lot of time it's just banter. He did
Mhm.
announce that my AEW is going to have more content going forward. He did say they're
Good.
they're going to have their own podcasting stuff. He did say he didn't mention them, but he did say he recognized what a certain company is doing with podcasting and how he said there should be an alternative for wrestling. So, which tells me what Tony
See,
Khan,
listen,
what tells me what Tony Khan is gonna do. He's gonna treat it like he does all the indie promotions.
yes,
Come over
and
here, we'll get you set up and locked in for a certain amount.
of course, and then also too, he was listening to the fans and the content creators in regards to what WWE was did with but Busted Open and Serious. He was listening. That's
Oh
why he
yeah,
said what he said tonight.
what he has done is what he's doing is he's basically doing what WWE Network used to be.
Yes,
And he's signing outside talent and he's telling people like, look, you can come eat at my table. I'm not telling you this, that, and the third, but at least promote my product. Just at least promote my product. I don't care what you do, but just promote my product. Talk all you
of
like
course,
wrestling wise. And that's a good thing.
and that's a good thing, of
And
course, because
I think it's going to be interesting on the other side of it. I did tell you when we did talk about WWE, I did say I wouldn't be surprised if AEW tried to counteract this by doing something that was pro fan.
and now guess what? They're just doing it with the podcast side. and that's gonna grow into something else. Listen, who knows? We could be having on that my AEW app, AEW Radio.
Well, that's what they're
Hey,
going. That's what they're going to be doing. That's what they said they were going to do.
AEW
And
Radio.
here's another
Listen,
thing. Here's another thing. And then Tony Khan's not a stupid man. He
no,
was also talking about how he's seen certain shows on YouTube. He was mentioning kind of like a nightcap, Gilbert
yes,
Arenas. He was talking
uh-huh.
about doing something like that for AEW, like on my AEW every day, where they would have
Why not?
something and they're talking about wrestling and video games, a show kind of like where you sit at a couch and you're just talking.
And that's good.
You
And
know,
that's and this is something that we talked about during that during the podcast in regards to what we're busted open in WWE, what they were doing, because AEW has to now act. They got to get on the ball now, because what it is that WWE is rolling with a lot of these moves, and they are jumping now on a lot of as I said, satellite radio. They're gonna get all the internet
well, I think
out
what
of the
AEW is
TV.
doing is they're realizing that okay, we have the fan base, we have the things we need, but here's the thing we're gonna do now. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna create our own shit, and we're just gonna take on. We're just gonna
And,
take on all the people that weren't happy.
and that gets and it's not just going to get to your what would they call the AEW sickos, but you're going to get also the non AEW sickos that's going to come in and start saying, "Well, okay, well, at least if we see another option out there, they come in. They may not listen, love or hate, love it or hate it. They can't they're just going to have to respect it, and they're going to continue to tune into that, and it's going to grow. So kudos to TK for doing it. Although we could give him a little bit of criticism here, but guess what? It's healthy.
Well, yeah, and I think people need to understand he keeps a lot of things to the vest,
Yes,
and I think
and
people need to realize, like, look, it's a private company.
yes, it's
They're gonna be that way.
a business, because as I learn it, as I continue to learn in things in business, you can't tell your next moves, because your competitor is going to be now they could take that and be steps ahead of you in putting out that move, that by the time you put out that move, it just loses
I
it's
kind of
loses its
compare it to
flavor.
like McDonald's, Burger King, how they don't really KFC, how they don't give
Yes.
out state secrets like that, or Coca
No.
Cola. You don't hear
No.
Coca Cola's formula being leaked out on the. Everybody's tried, but
No.
nothing gets close.
No. No. And that's something to where TK is bringing that back as far as wrestling and content is concerned, business wise, because because we lost that now for a couple of years too, especially when we started to do these behind the scenes shows, showing these wrestlers after a match, before a match, or and the case may be, because AEW did that and it didn't work in regards to the whole uh quote unquote like Unreal series.
Let's keep it real. I'll keep it real with everybody that's watching, look, or listens or whatever. The whole goal of this stuff, doing these kind of stuff, is take us where you want to take us. Okay, if you want to go to the throne, that's what this show's about. We're here to serve all places in the world. I've heard from a lot of you. You want voice, you want audio, and this is the perfect opportunity for it. And I love what how we're changing this into something different. And but getting back on subject, I got a little off topic. The thing about Tony Khan, which I am liking, is in the WWE Unreal stuff. Look, do we need to go there, my co-host, with this shit? Because Unreal is stupid. It
That,
makes no
that
sense.
and this is why with AEW, when they did their quote unquote Unreal series, they heard it from the fans and us. They heard it from us because we wasn't liking it. We said no.
Oh, and
We need.
FYI to all the Gumudgets out there,
Mhm.
JD from New York, and I will call him out for this one. Bro,
Okay.
you're waking up to the idea. I saw a title. You're now waking up to Triple H's garbage. You finally coming to that notion that Triple H is a fucking garbage booker now?
Welcome to the
We're
party, sir.
welcome to the party, bro. The ship left you a long time ago.
Time to go. And and by the way, JD, you did also read about TKO's article from what was it? April 20th, 2026, the day after WrestleMania, on a Monday morning when they told you we get to control everything in WWE, including Triple H's creative decisions, and you're just gonna have to enjoy watching it. Did you not read that, JD? Oh, but you forgot. You just wanted to be up in WWE's ass and getting on your knees and sucking that dick. Good job. So welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. You and I'm gonna call you out too, Solemn
Crotch
Monster,
monster.
Crotch Monster, aka Solemn Monster, aka Crotch Monster. Oh, I heard about what you were saying about WWE. We're trying to sell the product. It's so good. What world do you fucking live in? That shit left
Dude,
you. That shit,
I saw channels. Literally, when the booking got really bad, I was like, "Whoa,
bro. And let's be real with it. This just been real. This just been bad for 3 months. That that WWE at Fanatics Fest was garbage.
well, they're trying to sell things for the future."
It was
And to
garbage.
me, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't care about a Logan Paul and Tom Brady.
Listen, it was
Do we care?
listen. The whole WWE experience at Fanatics Fest, and I'm hearing it from folks on X and IG. It was fucking garbage. And your Saturday night's main event was garbage too from the Garden. It was like, what did you make New York City into? What we were gonna be made into fools and enjoying their product? At least listen, the number one thing that was there at Fanatics Fest wasn't even WWE. It was the New York Knicks.
Well, my whole thing with the whole shit show that's going on. I stopped watching, guys. To be honest with you, I watched a little bit of AAA. I was bored. I was getting ready for bed, so I turned it on just to have Father in the air. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it was garbage. I don't
You were
even know.
still
I don't
watching
even.
that show?
Well, I was bored, and I had to be honest with you. I was bored, and I was going to bed, and I just needed some noise in the background because I'm
Okay.
one of those that I gotta have some noise in the background to go to sleep sometimes. So
Mhm.
I turned it on anyway. It was there. I turned it on. I listened to like 15 minutes of it, and I was just like, "This shit's garbage. Like
Listen,
this shit's garbage."
listen. I haven't watched Triple H since de los Grandes.
They're trying way too hard. They're trying way too hard to push Americano
Ah,
as a big star, and it's like I don't know how that works. I just don't see it. And Dom should have lost the title a long time ago.
yes.
And guys, they're bringing in people from Lucha Underground like
Lucha Underground. Yes.
Tejano Jr. and a few others, Daga, and I'm like, I don't know how that works, man. I just don't see it. And by the way, AAA is now not called AAA; it's called WWE AAA. So just put that in your pipe and smoke it.
L L
At the very beginning,
L.
they made that very apparent. And by the way, I don't hear from Gamaj. It's WWE took courage. They saved them. AAA wasn't doing worse off.
It
They're
wasn't doing any.
they
They were
weren't
doing.
did they weren't doing worse off. WWE just took an opportunity. They said
Yeah,
they
just
wanted
took
to
a.
get new ownership, and WWE decided to buy them.
Yeah, listen. Their competitor CMLL is on fire.
Yes, it is. On a Friday
And
night, supposedly on a Friday night, they can't sell enough tickets.
what? No, you mean CMLL? CMLL's always sold
CMLL.
out.
What I mean, selling not enough tickets. What I meant, like they're on so much on fire, they can't. they don't have enough tickets to give.
Yeah, because it's always sold out.
Yeah.
Sold
So
out. Listen,
supposedly, this is what I was reading, that CMLL does not do live. They do not do like streaming stuff, but they're talking about starting, maybe possibly doing something
yeah,
for YouTube in the future,
okay.
or working out something with my AEW. I
My
know
AEW,
something to do with New Japan. New Japan also said that they were. I was reading an article that they were talking about something to do with AEW in the future.
yeah, because right now CMLL is the hottest promotion in Mexico.
I'm gonna tell you guys this on the show. You know, and it will and also on my channel. Guys, I would
Hmm.
not be surprised if my AEW has a tier coming soon, and I wouldn't be surprised if they add New Japan stuff to it and CMLO stuff to it.
Yes, because you already have a partnership with them, so why not add their programming content?
And by the way, just because New Japan pulled my AEW or AEW content off of their stuff doesn't mean that Tony Khan, basically their contract, they had a partnership, their contract expired. So
Yes,
I would not be surprised if my AEW eventually gets New Japan.
which they will at some point. They will at some point. So,
Tony Khan went out of his way and he paid from what I was reading, he paid a lot of money to MLPW to have their show. This
which is
was,
good.
and also it was worked out months ago.
Yeah, and you know what? It is good. It's good because listen, MLPW is it's there. All those got to still continue to grow. So hey,
And also, guys, too, what Tony Khan is doing, he's filling the gaps in for what happened with Triller.
yes,
Triller is dying, and they're getting sued, and they're not paying promotions. So Tony Khan is picking up those lapse promotions that were on Triller, and also I heard Dazan is not doing very well with paying those promotions that are on there either.
oh,
So Tony Khan, he's giving a upfront, paying them upfront, and there you go. It's a win-win
and,
situation.
and you know what too? My AEW experience from what I'm getting from the the hardcore AEW fans and the folks from outside, it's been good. It's been very good.
So I'll break it down for you, the MyAW app. So anybody's been on it, they have a guide, and they tell you, like at the very front page, they have a guide, and they tell you what they're playing on the main channels, what you're getting on the main channels, and it'll tell you if it's ads or no ads. And most of the time, they are playing like documentaries for stuff that they've recorded already. Old Heyo with RJ City. They play mostly Dynamite stuff. Now, I would not be surprised if Ring of Honor doesn't get merged into this and their tape library gets put over there and stuff like that. So I'm gonna tell you guys, with the whole Paramount and AEW thing, I wouldn't be surprised if AEW just said forget the HBO partnership eventually when that happens, and they just put everything on my AEW. You
That's what,
pay
and
you,
that
you pay a package deal, and you just like they do kind of what UFC's doing right now. You pay $60 a year for Paramount Plus. You get the UFC fights, and that's the way it goes.
yeah, and that's what I was specifically taught. We specifically discussed that on um numerous accounts and live streams and recordings. AEW can just branch off and be its own because it's already got promote. It's already its own private entity.
Well, I already see their
It's
next deal going to. I already see their next deal. I already see where they're possibly going to be going. I could see
okay.
them definitely working out a deal with Fox at this point because Tony Khan has mentioned Fox too many times. How they are kind of friend.
Yes,
So I wouldn't doubt them going over to Fox and getting paid a good healthy amount of money.
of course.
And the reason why that is because Fox needs some stuff just in case they lose the NFL.
Oh yeah, that too. Because at some point the NFL is going to start asking for more streaming platforms.
But
They've been asking
also,
for more.
that's why Fox went out and bought a Roku outright.
Or they bought Roku, which is good, which is very good now because now I can do now with me having a Roku TV, I can definitely do things with the NFL.
I think that's why they did it, to partner with the NFL, more games and more ways of streaming. Now, I don't trust Fox Corporation altogether. I don't with the Roku stick. I think they'll let that, the software go to shit. But personal opinion, because I saw this before with another company that did it. Um,
Yes.
what was it? I think it was Amazon. Amazon went out and bought some technology from another company, and they with their TVs and screwed it up. I think it was Insignia they partnered with, and they screwed
Yeah.
up Insignia TVs with their Fire OS. By the way, guys, I don't like Fire OS. I have had Fire Sticks. I just don't care for Fire Sticks. They're all
Nah,
over the
me
place.
neither. Mm-mm.
The boxes I ended up sticking with is like On boxes, Google TVs, anything Android TV related I stick with, or Apple TVs because they just work. A Roku I find to be very slow. I just and there's no custom ability, no custom like I can sideload apps, like something that I can get like on Android TV is I could sideload some stuff and be happy with that. And Apple, what can I say about Apple? It just works. Like
Uh,
most of the streaming apps that you want to get, the big boy players, they're all on Apple at this point. They're all optimized. So you don't have crashing or anything like that. Now, getting back on topic, Redemption, I'm going to be honest with you. Kevin Knight tonight, look, for his first outing at the big boy title, I was left not mad. He didn't make me mad. What made me mad was that finale and the women's match. That just irritated the crap out of me. It's like Tony Khan, you got to do better than that. You got to do better. You know,
yeah, because again, I get back to that end, and I'm just saying, where do we go? Are we going to have the United Empire come in and save Osprey now? Because it's probably it looks to me that it's going to be that way
absolutely.
because the Death Riders at some point during the match, the Death Riders are going to try to mess up at all in. The Death Riders are going to make attempts to interfere in the match so that Osprey doesn't win it, and then we just get the whole music from United Empire played throughout Wembley Stadium, and it's just like a big crowd pop.
By the way, two matches we didn't cover so far. The Dogs and Bang Bang Gang. That was pretty good.
They're pretty
I
good.
was I was very royally entertained with that. Not the best chain match in the world. I still got to give that to the Briscoe brothers and FTR. Those
Yep.
matches will be number one. I would say this would be a solid number three in all time AEW. I won't go, oh my god, it's the best match in the world.
Wow.
Um, the other match that I will talk about, we had a conglomeration match earlier on the kickoff show. I'm not
Yeah, I
gonna
was
go.
gonna kick off.
I'm not really gonna talk about the kickoff show because, really, to be honest with you, they're just whatever matches. Like
Yeah.
Lethal. Don't get me wrong. I think Blake Christian is a great talent. Don't get me wrong. He should not be on the main. He should not be on the pre-show. I think he should be. I honestly think the Lethal team, and I like Blake Christian. He should be somewhere at the beginning of your show, not on a
Okay.
pre-show. He's too good. I like
He's
what
too
they're
good.
doing. He's too good of it. They're developing him pretty nicely in
Yeah.
Ring of Honor slash now AEW. They're
Of
doing a good
course.
job. Now, Jay Lethal, on the other hand, why is this man not on our TV? Jay Lethal honestly should be part of the Hurt Syndicate. I said it. He should be.
Mm.
He should be treated.
Mm.
He should be treated better.
Okay.
And I honestly will say this. I honestly think Jay Lethal would be perfect for the Hurt Syndicate in a lot of ways.
Okay.
Just my
Okay.
just my personal opinion. I think he needs to be somewhere, and I think if you put him in, he could be a good fourth player in the Hurt Syndicate. Because if you're not gonna have MVP be the guy that you know that is wrestling all the time, then you're gonna probably want to have a fourth guy there. Just my personal opinion. If you're not gonna have MVP wrestle all the time, or just be that manager, then we need to get somebody that fills in his void. Which I thought
Okay.
that was gonna be Leo Rush. I thought for a minute there they were gonna put Leo Rush in a suit and have him walk around with the Hurt Syndicate and be a part of it, kind of like an evolution.
Yes.
And I was wrong. Leo Rush is doing better things, honestly. He's the best
Now
thing on Ring of Honor.
he is. He definitely is. Um. So I would say the match to kick off Redemption. Okay, it was very well. The spot.
By the way, the internet. Are we talking about the international titles? The international shot for the title.
Yes,
Okay.
that was a lot of match for the winner will get a shot at the international title, and yes. Now, I- when I first saw it, and I said, "Damn, Mike Bailey, Montreal, we already know who's winning." It was very good, and it was very good, and it was just spots that led you up to the finish.
Absolutely.
So I give that good marks on that. Now with the national title, we got to talk about that one because that one was interesting from the beginning part as you were talking about it.
Well, okay. So if we're gonna go there with the national title, they did a good thing with Andrade. The presentations they're hitting the nail on the head with him. Absolutely good stuff. I'm not mad. I'm not disappointed. I like they're not trying to step on Eddie Guerrero's legacy, but they're
No,
giving you something similar, and I dig it.
because yes, and you know what too? Hey, kudos for them to getting you there for the match, during the match, and then him being crowned the new national champion.
Yes,
So definitely it
they
worked.
had to do something with the national title. I didn't feel Mark Davis was really making that taking it to a level.
No,
I
no,
felt like even Ricochet. I didn't feel like Ricochet was bringing it up a level. You got to get somebody that has. If you're gonna make that, if you're trying to make the national title marquee, right? Your version of the NWA national title, as Tony Khan has said, which rubbed Billy Corgan the wrong way. Um,
okay,
my whole thing is you need to build it up with some top stars. You know, I love Ricochet and I like Mark Davis, but they don't have that swagger. Like right now, they just don't have that swagger. And the person that has the swagger right now, honestly, to be real with you, is Andrade.
okay,
And now this is where you can get a trial run to see if he's worthy for the big boy titles.
okay.
You can see what you have with him. How does he present himself? The title, what you know what I mean? Like if you want to put a big boy title, what I mean like the AEW World Title on him eventually, because this could
Yes,
lead him. And here's my problem with AEW is the protostar needs to be the next in line. At this point, the protostar needs to be your guy next to have that world title. I think if you give it to Will Ospreay, you let Will Ospreay have it for a while, and then you have the protostar coming because they have history. You have him win the belt.
yes they do.
They need to. I that's the only thing I could think of in my eyes that they do sooner than later. Next year. I'm not saying now because I think Will Ospreay is going to carry that title for a while. I don't
Yes,
think they're going to have him lose that belt once he wins it. What 8 months? We're going to say. I think it's going to be an 8-month title reign, but that's just my
um,
thing.
Hey, who knows with it, but not but
But I
hey,
say this now, and TK's well known. Look at MJF. He didn't really have him hold it that long.
no.
And
But then but
Kevin Knight impressed me last night. I'll give him that. He made me a believer that you know what? Look, he could be something down the road.
yes. Yes, but for him, they're just giving you flat. They just want to put him out there to see how he does, and he did very well. He hanged with Omega to the until the end,
Absolutely.
so you can't be mad at that. Um, for the international title, that was Bandito versus the champion, Carl Fletcher. I would say this. Okay.
Well,
Who?
it's a typical bandito match though.
Yeah, just typical. Where just you get there and then eventually you just finish them off. Now the
Well,
question would be,
I get why they did it though, because they can't have Bandito winning because then he'd be Bandito two belts. If you know what I mean.
okay,
Because
yes, but
Bandito's the Ring of Honor World Champion.
yes,
So I get why they did what they did.
because I would look at it this way. Yeah, because right now Bandito's storyline should be focused on death. Should be focused on now like Ring of Honor TV leading into Death Before Dishonor.
Yeah, I agree
So
with that.
that's basically what they're gonna do now. And then with Fletcher, who would be the next in line for that international title?
Um,
Would you put
Okada,
uh
Okada. See, because they got that whole feud thing going on after he said sorry, I didn't mean it. No, 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 I don't mean it. I think
okay,
personally, and this is my personal opinion, I think Okada's gonna go away from the Don. I think he's gonna be the next one gone out of the Don Callis
okay.
family, and I just have a feeling how they're gonna book it is he's gonna partner up with Kakeshita.
Well, yeah, some at some point that those two probably see each other down the line and then kind of reconnect and perform, and eventually form an alliance. So yeah, well, because Okada did hint that I want that match for the international title.
Well, then also, Protostar's going against Speedball, so Speedball and
Oh no
him are
no
going
no
at each other eventually. So
no speed
that's gonna be your summer. Technically, that's what it's gonna be. That's gonna be your summer.
and that match is coming up next week, next Wednesday to be exact, in Mexico.
Yes, and I really do think what they'll do is they'll give it to Speedball.
Yeah, in Mexico. Yes. Okay,
I do think they're gonna give it to, and then what you would do from there, you could have Okada come in next.
and take that on and get
Mm,
that title from Speedball, so that way it could probably just stay. That way there's like okay
well,
or not
I would say Speedball should beat Okada. I think Speedball should be pushed at this point. Okada's really not done anything for me to go, oh hey, he should have the title belt again. Because
okay.
you see him every 3 months. That's what's happening with Okada. You see, when do we see Okada? Where? Oh, there he is again. 3 months. Oh, and then they make him look stupid, and that falls on Tony. I want to ask these wrestling promotions: why do we make Japanese wrestlers look like shit? Why are we not booking them well? It's absolutely absurd. Okada should not look stupid. He should not talk stupid. Uh,
Oh,
sorry, bitch. You know what I mean? I just don't get that. It's so stupid.
because it's the same thing. If you want to go there with a Japanese superstar in a wrestling major wrestling promotion, take a look at Evil.
Oh yeah, that's a botch and a half. Same with Shinsuke. What is Shinsuke
Shinsuke
doing? What is
Nakamura.
I'm sorry. What is Shinsuke doing? Jerking off in the corner?
Damn.
I'm not trying to be mean, but it's a circle jerk with him. He's out.
Yeah,
He's in. He's out. He's in. He's out. He's like Sheamus. Out in. Out in.
and then with Evil, why? It's like yeah. Uh, I'm trying to keep it. Not even. I'm trying to keep it my boycott. Hashtag boycott WWE. Everyone. So put that in your tab every single time you talk bad about WWE. Hashtag boycott WWE. Thank you.
Well, have a moment of what are we doing with Shinsuke Nakamura? What are we like? I think Shinsuke is going to be released after SummerSlam. I am starting to believe
Yeah.
that.
Well, okay, so now we can go there on that tab with releases and free agency. I read something in the article, and it said that they're gonna let Sheamus let him become a free agent instead of releasing him. Which I said that to you, remember?
I reason I said what I said about that was I felt WWE was going to be petty.
But no, they and then what did I say to you? They can't be petty to him because that's too much of a he's too much of a star. He's too much of a star
I
for you
agree.
to do that
I
to.
agree with you there, but the way TKO don't see it that way.
TKO don't see it that way, but then also, what's gonna happen when you do that release on him? Then that's gonna create a lot of backlash. Just what you don't want another. Okay, here's what it is. You don't want you TKO does not want a situation like what happened to them last year.
Well, I'm gonna be real
When
with
all
you. I'm gonna be real with you, my co-host on this recordings and people that are watching
okay,
this. I'm gonna
be
say this.
real.
I just don't think WWE or TKO gives a shit. Let's just keep
They
it
don't.
really. They don't give a shit. They'll take
They
the hit.
don't.
They'll take a hit. It'll be a drop in the bucket for them.
They don't. But if it's but if they're looking at the history of a star like him, like, for Sheamus, they'll do the right thing and just back off and let him hit free agency once his contract expires.
And
You don't
this
go
is the same company TKO when they control UFC and what they did to Nate Diaz. So I
true
once again
once
I
again.
see where you're coming from, but then I also see they just don't give a shit. WWE don't care. They're on a buying spree. They don't give a shit about the fans. They don't give a shit about your favorite wrestler. You think they give a shit? Oh fuck no, they don't. That's the
No,
truth.
but then also too it's not them receiving backlash. It's also the wrestler itself, the superstar, getting his legal team to
My
fight them
thing
behind the
is,
scenes.
here's my thing to all of you, to everybody that watches this, including my co-host. They should get rid of LA Knight, no doubt. They should
Okay.
get rid of Bailey, no doubt.
Well, she's gone.
They should fire a lot. They should get rid of about 10% of their people. They're not
Of
utilizing
course.
them at all, completely.
No.
And
No, they're not.
they don't give a shit either.
No. But see with Sheamus, why he's gonna be also being have in free agency after his contract expires because he had to fight that with his legal team. Not so much with the fans giving having a backlash or anything else of the nature. He had to fight that because you're gonna tell him that he can't compete for 90 days. Plus, right now, he's ain't isn't he dealing with a shoulder injury too from one of his workout sessions?
I think so.
Yes. So basically, is like basically for that, if he hits free agency when he hits free agency, not if but when he does, he's gonna probably be out for another 2 to 3 months.
I think so. And I'm also gonna say this too. So I see about 10% of WWE wrestlers getting released.
Yeah, because they're already speaking about it. It's already rumbles that after this week's SummerSlam, you're gonna see it. You're
By
gonna
the
see
way,
the
I'm
Friday
not. By the
after.
way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to be watching it.
No, me neither.
I'm
I'm
not
not.
going to care enough to care. The matches that I've seen, I don't care enough. Do I give a
No.
shit about Cody Rhodes and freaking Punk? No. Do I care
Listen,
about Rollins and fucking Roman Reigns for I don't know the upteenth billion time? No one cares. Here, I'll
I
crack. I'll crack a joke on here. I'd rather go to a bar and pay two old men to beat the shit out of each other than watching a Roman Reigns and a Seth Rollins.
what it I have not heard that. I have not heard a joke like that in a long time.
Also, and I'm also going to say this too. I would rather watch paint dry. I would rather
Okay,
watch
that.
Gamudget LeBron James fans argue
Oh,
over his body and his
okay,
son and who he's going where and why than
okay.
a Roman
Well,
Reigns and a Seth Rollins match.
okay. Well, I would agree with you on that one. Okay, I will agree with you on that one.
I
For
I
that
I am
instance,
I am so
or
over. I'm over Roman Reigns.
or or you can take that and go to a Dodgers game on a Saturday evening.
Look, look. You could buy yourself for the money that you're about to spend on SummerSlam. Okay, ready? TMI guys. You could buy a hooker. You can go to a strip club. You can go to a drag queen show. You could do anything else but
Uh,
freaking go to a freaking my point.
yeah, yeah. I
Okay,
know your point.
my point
I
is you can
get
go
it.
anywhere else in the world and fucking sit
Of course.
down and watch
Watch
what?
SummerSlam.
Watch your
Watch what?
intelligence be fucking insulted?
Okay, okay. Here's what I see what's going here. I'll say, okay, let me break down the situation. Over is gonna be a Paul Heyman guy. That's it.
Wow. We're just going there. Jesus.
Yeah.
By the way, guys,
Listen,
we are talking about WWE and an AEW review. The reason we're making fun of it basically. We're clowning
yeah.
on it. It's so bad.
So because okay, Paul Heyman basically left the vision.
You remember back in the day, New Coke?
Yes.
Basically, this is what WWE is. This is just shine up a turd and give it back to you.
Yeah. Listen, I would have had listen, if it was like that for you, I would make sure that you go to a Dodgers Stadium in Chavez Ravine and watch your Dodgers play on a Saturday evening. On a Saturday evening, August 1st. Thank you. Then watch
Honestly, I'll take anything else. I like to see.
listen,
Honestly, I'm gonna tell this to the audience. I'm gonna be real. I'd rather go see a nice pair of titties. I would like to go see a nice anything over a
okay.
fucking overseeing Roman Reigns and his Seth Rollins curb stomp,
Okay.
pedigree,
Well then
spear, three
well then
Superman punches.
well if it's like that, okay. Then you get some nice tickets, sit courtside at crypto.com arena in
There you go.
downtown LA and watch the Sparks play.
That would
Watch
be. Yeah,
the
I agree with that. I
watch
would
the
rather.
Sparks
I'll
play.
put it this way: if Smith was close, I would say, look, we can get some barbecue over that shit.
Yeah,
That shit's horrible.
listen, we'll watch the WNBA. At least the
And by the
WNBA is
way,
much.
ladies and gentlemen that watch this, I'm gonna be. I know all jokes aside, that this show's gonna be shit anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Listen, I'm not even watching it. I'm probably gonna be. I don't. For me, I'm definitely gonna be outside or somewhere on that Saturday and Sunday. I don't even know yet.
Well, the
But
weather here is so shit. I'm not going outside, so
uh,
I'll probably be watching sports all day, something else,
it
or streaming.
it it depends on what's for me it depends on how the weather's gonna look like for the weekend. But I would rather go to damn Yankee Stadium and watch my Yankees play than watch SummerSlam.
I can't blame you. Can't blame you
Please, I'll
there.
go. Listen, listen. At least I'll be doing all right there watching these guys with this crappy ass creative booking, and you can't and you already told the fans, well, we don't care about you.
Let's quote the Gurmudget Enzo Amore. You can't teach that.
You can't touch that.
That's how bad
And
W.
you,
That's how bad
oh,
WWE's getting with me.
and did you see the little clip? You probably didn't see the little clip. Kaz will be debuting on Raw August 3rd.
Who cares? That's all
Had to
I
just
say. Who
laugh.
cares? That's my answer to everything WWE. Who cares?
Who cares?
Next.
Listen. And folks, ever since I've been saying hashtag WWE from April 20th, I've been gaining a little bit of my life back, a little bit of sanity, and brother Rave here too.
I will put it this way. I don't have to fire up Netflix on a Monday.
Good job,
I don't have
good
to
job.
sit. I don't have to sit and hear Corey Graves talk. Let me
And this is
let
still
me let me be honest with you guys. Let me be real with everybody in this recording, and I'll say this: it was such a treat to hear Mario Ronaldo's voice on MLPW.
oh yes, all right,
In
all right.
comparison to what this WWE shit show,
Oh yes,
it
listen.
made me smile.
Yes, when I hear Mauro Ronaldo, man, I'm like, oh yes, and he says, "Mamma mia!"
Yes, and I want to say this: like that's the problem with WWE. It's so they're so out of touch, and they're monotone.
No, yeah, it is.
And
It's it,
you're getting more entertainment than wrestling. When who was asking for that? I'm not asking you to have what 3 wrestling matches and mostly entertainment segments. Who's asking for that?
who's asking? Listen. What? Hey, Trek, you lost Little Yachty. Now we could go back to wrestling again. Who cares?
They lost the plot when it comes to Trick Williams. They lost the plot with Camelo Hayes.
Yeah, they did because once again, MVP's comments always comes up when it comes to that type of situation
Well, to me, is why did they book them so well in NXT,
because it
and
was
then
Triple H.
then turned around and then and now in NXT they are now in main roster stuff. They look like a fucking shell of themselves.
Yeah,
And
well,
I'm already afraid of Evil going to the well. We should. I know we're talking about WWE in this video review. I'll keep it like this. AEW did a good job. I will say an average job. They did an average job for what they were trying to put out there. It wasn't terrible. I'm not going
no,
to say it was trash. And I will say I'll take my words back from Wednesday. And I know people are going to say, "Well, you put a title out saying it's going to be a nothing pay per view." And I said, and I'll say this now: I take back what I said in that title. When we put out that review, I will say I'll take it back on my part because I was really blown away how Tony Khan made this pay per view work, being a brand new show.
yes, and
I'll
and
eat
be
shit on my own. I'll die on my sword on that one.
and you know what? I, for the 0 hour, I like what they did with the tribute to the Rugo family
Yeah,
80 years
I
ago.
like that. Yeah, they did a good job with that.
They did a good job with
But you
paying
know what?
tribute to
I'll
them.
tell you this: AEW's been very good at that kind of stuff.
Yes, I mean remember also when they go down to Texas, they never forget about honoring the Von Erichs.
Well, here's my other thing. What happened to the Von Erichs' young sons, grandsons that were supposed to be the next coming in AEW? What happened to them?
They're in our Ring of Honor.
Oh, they're in Ring of Honor still. Okay.
Yeah, they're in Ring of Honor, of course.
I forgot
Yeah,
they
yeah,
were.
they're in Ring of Honor because you have to because those guys are a little bit raw.
Well, here's my thing with that.
Oh,
The
that's
same
why
with
Chris.
same
That's
with
Chris and Ross. Yeah, Chris and Ross Von Erich. Yeah, those are the two.
the one thing I don't understand either. What is up with no Billy Gunn anymore in AEW? His sons are there, and I'm like, they mentioned him when they were doing the Bang Bang thing. So I'm
Yeah,
confused. Where is Billy Gunn? Billy Gunn's on MLPW. He's wrestling
he's
next
on
week.
MLPW. Yep,
So my
he's
thing
on
is he should
MLPW.
wrestle. Couple of things I'm going to say before we wrap this up real quick. I'm gonna give AEW a solid B plus all day. I think that's
Yes,
where I'm settling at. I think I don't know if my co-host agrees with this one. I'm gonna give them a solid 8.
me too. I agree with it because for a new pay-per-view that you announced in between your major ones and you had to do whatever it takes uh excuse me, to show up for to at least show that you can put up a good show. Hey, I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8 as well.
I think a B plus 8. I know. Look. The AEW is not going to be perfect, and yes, leading up to the show, yes, everybody criticized it. I was kind of shocked how some of the matches went. And by the way, I don't want to hear some of you guys worship these other channels to death and whatever they say is the gospel. Guys, clean your ears, go touch grass, and understand there's other channels out there and we all have different perspectives. And if you
Yeah,
have to worship what your commentator is saying, then maybe it's time for you to step out and go touch grass.
yeah. Go touch the grass. Go outside. Go outside. Touch the ground. Don't touch the ground while it's hot, but get a breath of fresh air.
And by the way, not everything has to be cinema when it comes to wrestling.
No.
Oh, and I forgot to mention Champa and Chris Jericho's
Yes,
match.
the
Um,
Ciampa Jericho match.
I couldn't believe they used a Palma brush of sorts.
uh,
That blew my mind. And
that's
the spinning cutter type deal that they did into the mirrors. That was interesting.
yes.
And
But then,
and by the way, I'm
but
going to tell you guys this: they played it safe. They didn't use a real drill, guys. It was a drill, but they used it was gimped. You could tell it was gimped.
yes.
Tommaso Ciampa is good at blading. See, give that man credit. He bladed himself right then and there. I knew what he was doing when they panned the camera off. He was blading.
And then what they did was they played it safe by calling referee stoppage.
Yeah.
Because now what you're gonna do is, and like I said to you earlier, and I'm gonna say it here, what you can do is, and this is a booking situation that you can do with this. Have Ciampa just come out and start ripping the shit out of, and not well ripping it as far as the promo's concerned, and just start throwing it. Just have him sit in the middle of the ring. Just have him sit in the middle of the ring with a chair and just rip off a promo and said, "This is what I do, and you saw what I did during Redemption. I'm still the Psycho Killer, and I showed what I did with the Psycho Killer, and I did not tap out nor get pinned. So now, what you could do? So now, this leads into building a match for All In, the sequel.
What kind of match would you go with?
I mean, you already went no holds barred. You damn sure you damn sure told the people. You damn sure showed some things. So with this type of match in All In, I they would have to the storyline would have to, the way they have to do it is you have to play off now a storyline that would have a match fit into this sequel, because you just can't throw any match out there and say it's gonna fit. You can say false count anywhere, but
I
in no
think they
holds
should
barred,
have a last man standing match, kind of like a Kurt Angle
which
and
is
Shane
where
McMahon.
I would say yes. And Ciampa and Jericho's gonna have these promos now where they're gonna say, "Hey, I want to be this last man standing." They're gonna hint it, and he's gonna hint every week until
And you know what?
it
It'll
gets
work perfect
louder.
for All In. Pretty honestly, it'll work well because they can do it throughout the stadium, or they could do Falls
Yes.
Count anywhere.
Well, I'll be false count anyway because if you're gonna, well, you already did no holds barred. Then those holds bars, like, okay, you fit false count anywhere.
Wouldn't it be something if they do like a Hell in a Cell kind of match, but they call it something else?
Hmm. Hmm. yes, and you know what too,
I could
because
see them doing the first ever Hell in a Cell, but like do it with a cylinder instead of a square.
okay,
Because Tony Khan's been well known to do not just typical regular what is it uh cage. He's now been doing cylinder cages, different
yeah,
stuff.
because just like the one that they did at what was it, Forbidden Door,
Yep.
just like they did with the 12 man match at Forbidden Door. Yes, you can do something like that with Ciampa and Jericho because for what we saw from last night, man, they could really give it into each other and they play into it very
And I'm gonna
well.
say this to all the curmudgeons for everybody that said Chris Jericho. I even said it, and I'll call myself it. I said Chris Jericho, Father Time plays no mean, but I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with each and every one of you. He reminds me a lot of what happened with Sting. Like those matches, you're starting to see it,
Yeah.
and they're booking him right.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it. Now, Chris Jericho has lost a little bit of a step. I will say this. You could tell. But he is now showing you kind of what was his name for ECW?
Oh
Terry
yeah.
Funk. He's proving to you like Terry Funk did that he could still go, but he can't be that Jericho of old like that. But he
No,
could go and still look extreme.
of course.
And Payama, and by the way, I've loved it. They played Judas Priest. They put him out with Judas Priest, wondering how much money Tony Khan paid for that. I was cool
Yeah.
with that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and another thing
Yeah.
is, I'm already telling you, I'm already saying this. Uh, Decla needs to have like a really good entrance music when it comes to these big moments with her.
Okay.
Like maybe a Metallica or something like that, like a death metal band. Bring her out. Like, can we do our girl a little bit better? Just saying. I like her
No,
music, but let's give her more.
yeah, and you know what too? With with a little bit of time away now for her, they're gonna work on that music. They're gonna work
Well,
on
also too, she's gonna be in Stardom for a while because she's got to defend the title.
which means that which is why I saw that, you know, they pulled the trigger, which is why they pulled the trigger. The reason for them pulling the trigger.
Well, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with Willow Nightingale winning the title at all. But
But you have to
I understand it.
but we also now it's because it's we have to also speak about how you're gonna get us there. How you're gonna do this? Because once I saw the whole Tekla two belts, they probably just brought her onto Dynamite to just show her two belts, and then after that, okay, she's gonna be in. Now we see her gonna be in Stardom for a bit, and they had to put in a little bit of adversity with Willow Nightingale because you saw it on Dynamite leading up to Redemption, the whole Mick
I'm
Foley.
gonna say this, co-host. I'm gonna be honest with you. Willow Nightingale, she came back, and all of a sudden she's getting thrown in the top. There's no rhyme or reason. It was just boom, there she is. Boom, oh yeah, okay. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
because okay, then the question would have to come: how many times are we going to have her, you know, capture the TBS title? We have to move her up somehow, some way. That would be a question out there.
Well, she was already okay. So in this span of 2 years, she's already been the women's champion twice.
The TBS, no
TBS,
TBS champion.
TBS, she's been TBS 3 times. How many more
Yeah,
belts? How many more times do we need to throw her a belt? You know what I mean? This is what I was telling you earlier. This is what annoys me about her. They're treating her like John Cena way. And it's like, why?
well, I mean, are you gonna let her change her into heel or something? Because
Well, my thing is you can have her walk in the Ring of Honor. You can have her win the peer champion, step up somebody's game. Diana Peraza needs big talent. Like she's been fighting people there, but really resonated into, oh my god, that title's prestigious? No. You bring in a Willow Nightingale, that makes that title
You-
more prestigious.
But why would you see but see that would be backtracking because Willow Nightingale
Well,
was
okay,
already
so in
in
fairness, okay, so I'm gonna go back to Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho did that for Ring of Honor, and I know it was to get a TV deal at the time, but also Claudio Castagnoli's done that, and also who else? Swerve has for a while there, been in Ring of Honor, and that's another thing. Where's Swerve Strickland?
You don't know.
Where's Adam Page? The guy talked about how he's now going to be the mid card king. Where the hell is he? Missed opportunities. That's the other thing that's driving me insane about AEW. Missed opportunities. This is why I say that they should have a second show that has main card people on it and have secondary titles. It makes sense. Too many people, too many cooks in the kitchen. Too many cooks in the kitchen. So like I said, the only thing I'm complaining about is that match and the ending of the main card match or the uh, world heavyweight title match. Everything else is great. I have no issues with it.
Me neither because it got us a little bit there to where we need to, where we need to be as far as all in is concerned. So we are,
It's basically an advertiser or like a tray that comes to you first.
yes.
Basically. Well, we're gonna get out of here. I want to say thank you to everybody that's watching. Make sure to rate, like, and subscribe on my channel. Eventually, we will have a Smooth and Wraith channel eventually out there for you guys. Um, well, we'll probably be back with something sooner than later. I got to get the LeBron James stuff up. On my channel, guys, when I see it, I'll break some news about Jonathan Kalimba eventually. That seems to be in purgatory at the moment with his agent kind of holding everything up because his agent feels like he needs to get more money, but Kalimba has said that basically that he's okay taking way less money. And he's not asking for much. He's just asking for 15 mil. He said originally that's what he wanted. So we'll see. I'll have a video documenting all of it eventually. And stay tuned on the channel. I will be talking about the Lakers. Because I'm the tribal chief of LA Nation, I guess, of Lakers Nation.
Yeah.
I will go into. I will have a deep dive on players. Eventually, I'll have a video out for you guys where I talk about um how I feel about the Lakers 5-man roster, and I think if they have Jonathan Kalimba, he will be your starting guy. Um, and I'm kind of glad they went away from Jarrett Vanderbilt, to be honest with you. And if we don't have to lose Dalton Connect, I'm cool with that too. Because Dalton Connect could be a nice off the bench player that can help. He could be your Amarado if you really want to go there. If Connect can put it all together. Because Connect hasn't been able to put it all together, supposedly. And that's from sportscasters and whatnot that are saying that. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys for stopping in and watching. Um, Again, follow all social media down below in the description. Will be my affiliate links, SmoothPana's links down below. Check them out. Give them a follow. Tell, show the love. Um,
Yes, keep on saying the love.
and yeah, that's the show for tonight. Thank you guys for stopping in and watching. And yeah, let us know what you guys thought of the show. And let us know if we didn't get to everything. Let us know. I know we could have done more about the pre-show, but the pre-show's the pre-show.
Yeah,
You
appreciate
know.
it. It's just that, yes.
Anyway, I'll see you guys. And hold on.